If you are seeing this today, 28th of December, understand first this simple truth: nothing meaningful enters your life by accident. What appears accidental is often the result of preparation you were not conscious of. Awakening works this way. It does not announce itself loudly. It does not ask for permission. It arrives quietly, usually after you have been stripped of illusions, after comfort has been removed, after certainty has collapsed. People think awakening is something mystical, sudden, dramatic. In reality, it is subtle, gradual, and often uncomfortable. It begins the moment you stop running from yourself. Many people wake up in the morning, but very few wake up within. They move through their days on habit, impulse, and reaction. They believe they are choosing, but most of the time they are only responding. Awakening is the moment you realize this. It is the moment you see that your thoughts are not always yours, that your emotions rise without invitation, that your life has been shaped more by unconscious patterns than by deliberate action. This realization does not come to everyone, because not everyone is ready to carry it. To see yourself clearly requires strength. To see your own confusion requires humility. To see your own responsibility requires courage. If you are seeing this message today, it means something within you has reached a point where it can no longer remain asleep. You may not feel enlightened. You may not feel peaceful. You may even feel lost. But awakening does not begin with clarity. It begins with disturbance. It begins when the old way of living no longer satisfies you, but the new way has not yet revealed itself. This space in between is where many people turn back. They return to distraction, noise, and false comfort. They choose numbness over growth. Awakening is not for those who seek comfort. It is for those who seek truth. God does not awaken people randomly. Awakening is not a reward for being good, nor a punishment for being bad. It is a responsibility given to those who can endure seeing reality without escaping. When you awaken, you can no longer blame blindly. You can no longer live carelessly. You can no longer pretend that your actions have no consequences. This is why awakening often feels heavy at first. The weight of awareness presses on you. You begin to notice your habits, your reactions, your excuses. You begin to see how often you abandon your own values. This is not meant to shame you. It is meant to strengthen you. Pain is often the doorway to awakening, not because pain is good, but because pain strips away illusions. When life breaks you open, when expectations collapse, when people leave, when plans fail, something inside you is forced to look inward. Comfort keeps people asleep. Struggle forces attention. Many of the strongest awakenings come after disappointment, loss, or prolonged silence. When there is nothing left to cling to outside, you finally turn inward. That turning is the beginning. If you think about your own journey, you will see that this message did not appear at the beginning of your struggle. It appeared after endurance, after nights of questioning, after moments where you felt unseen, after times when you kept going without applause. That is not coincidence. That is preparation. Awakening requires a certain maturity of suffering. Not everyone who suffers awakens, but everyone who awakens has suffered in some way. Suffering humbles the ego. It teaches patience. It sharpens perception. Without it, awakening would turn into arrogance. God's timing is precise, not early, not late. People often say, "Why now?" The answer is simple: because now you can handle it. Awakening too early would overwhelm you. Awakening too late would make you bitter. This moment, this exact time in your life, is when awareness can take root without destroying you. You have learned enough through experience. You have been tested enough through delay. You have been softened enough through failure. Now awareness can grow. To awaken means to see that your life is not happening to you, but through you. This realization changes everything. You begin to understand that every reaction trains your mind. Every repeated thought carves a path. Every small decision shapes your future. Awakening is not about grand visions. It is about small observations. You notice how quickly the mind seeks comfort. You notice how easily emotions hijack action. You notice how discipline fades when no one is watching. These observations are not judgments, they are mirrors. And mirrors are necessary if you want to correct your posture. Many people fear awakening because they think it will take away joy. In truth, it takes away false joy. It removes pleasure that weakens you and replaces it with fulfillment that strengthens you. At first, this feels like loss. You may feel disconnected from old habits, old conversations, old desires. This is normal. You are not becoming empty. You are becoming selective. Your energy is no longer scattered. It is being gathered. If you are seeing this today, it means your awareness has reached a point where distraction no longer satisfies you the way it once did. You may still engage with the world, but something inside you remains observant. You watch yourself more closely now. You question more deeply. You pause before reacting. These are signs of awakening, quiet signs, invisible to others but powerful within you. Awakening does not separate you from life. It anchors you more deeply into it. You begin to move with intention instead of impulse. You begin to value discipline over motivation, because motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. You begin to understand that freedom is not doing whatever you want, but being able to choose what is right even when it is difficult. This understanding does not come from books alone. It comes from lived experience, and you have lived enough to receive it. God's congratulations are not emotional praise. They are recognition. Recognition that you did not turn away when awareness knocked. Recognition that you stayed present when escape was easier. Recognition that you are capable of seeing without collapsing. This is why not everyone sees this message. It is not meant for everyone at this moment. Awakening spreads in stages like light at dawn. Some see the first glow. Some wake when the sun is already high. Neither is better. Each has its time. Do not rush to label yourself awakened. Labels strengthen the ego. Instead, stay attentive. Awakening is not a destination, it is a continuous practice. Each day you are given opportunities to either remain conscious or fall back into automatic living. The fact that you are aware of this choice is already a sign of awakening. The path now is not to seek more signs, but to live according to what you see. If you are seeing this today, take it as a quiet confirmation. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where awareness can grow. Stay grounded. Stay disciplined. Stay honest with yourself. Awakening is not dramatic, but it is irreversible. Once you see, you cannot unsee, and that is why this moment matters. When God says, "Congratulations," the mind immediately translates it into comfort, reward, ease, relief. This is the human misunderstanding. We associate congratulations with the end of effort, with applause, with permission to relax. But in the language of truth, congratulations does not mean rest. It means readiness. It means you are now capable of carrying more responsibility without collapsing under its weight. Comfort is given to those who want to sleep. Responsibility is given to those who are prepared to wake up. Most people want blessings without burden. They want results without discipline, growth without pressure, elevation without sacrifice. But real congratulations come when you are trusted, not when you are entertained. If you are seeing this message today, it is not because your struggles are over. It is because you have proven that struggle does not destroy you. You have shown that you can stand in uncertainty without begging for escape. You have endured enough to be entrusted with more. Responsibility is often misunderstood as punishment. In reality, it is recognition of capacity. You are not given what you want, you are given what you can handle. When life increases its demands on you, it is not trying to break you. It is responding to your growth. A heavier weight is only placed on a stronger structure. If the load feels heavy, it is because you are strong enough to feel it fully. Comfort weakens awareness. When everything is easy, the mind becomes lazy, attention dulls, discipline fades, This is why comfort can be more dangerous than hardship. Hardship forces you to be present. Comfort invites you to drift. God does not congratulate people by putting them to sleep. God congratulates people by calling them into deeper participation with life. To be congratulated in this way means you are now responsible for your inner state. You can no longer blame circumstances for everything. You can no longer wait for motivation to appear before you act. You can no longer live unconsciously and claim innocence. Awareness brings accountability. Once you see your patterns, you are responsible for them. Once you recognize your potential, you are responsible for developing it. Many people resist this stage because it feels heavy. They say, "Why does everything feel more serious now?" It feels serious because you are no longer asleep. You are no longer floating through life on automatic settings. You are being asked to steer. Steering requires effort. Steering requires focus. Steering requires restraint. But it also gives direction. Without responsibility, life may feel light, but it goes nowhere. When God says congratulations, it is an invitation to mature. Maturity does not mean becoming rigid or joyless. It means becoming reliable. Reliable to yourself. Reliable in your actions. Reliable in your values. A mature person does not react blindly. They respond consciously. They do not chase every emotion. They observe it. They do not collapse under pressure. They adjust their posture and continue. Responsibility begins internally. Before you are responsible for others, you are responsible for your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions. Your actions build your character. Character determines destiny. This chain begins in the mind. If you neglect the mind, everything downstream suffers. Being congratulated means you are now expected to train the mind rather than be ruled by it. This training is not dramatic. It happens in small moments. When you choose silence instead of unnecessary reaction. When you choose discipline instead of comfort. When you choose consistency instead of intensity. Responsibility lives in these quiet decisions. No one applauds them. No one sees them, but they shape you deeply. Comfort seeks immediate relief. Responsibility seeks long-term alignment. Comfort asks, "How do I feel right now?" Responsibility asks, "What is required of me?" These questions lead to very different lives. If you are seeing this message, it means you are being guided away from the first question and toward the second. This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. With responsibility comes loneliness at times. Not everyone will understand your restraint. Not everyone will support your discipline. Some will call it seriousness. Some will call it distance. But responsibility often creates space between you and those who still seek constant distraction. This is not superiority. It is difference in direction. You are walking inward while many are running outward. Do not mistake responsibility for heaviness of heart. A responsible life can be deeply peaceful. Peace does not come from having no duties. It comes from fulfilling the right ones. When your actions align with your values, the mind becomes quiet. When the mind is quiet, life feels lighter, even when the load is heavy. God does not congratulate people by removing challenges. God congratulates people by trusting them with challenges that refine rather than destroy. Each challenge now carries a lesson. Each obstacle asks for a higher level of discipline. Each delay trains patience. You are no longer being tested randomly. You are being trained intentionally. This responsibility also means you must stop waiting to be saved. Support may come, guidance may appear, but the work is yours. No one can think for you. No one can choose for you. No one can walk your inner path. This realization can feel isolating at first, but it is also empowering. You are not a passenger anymore. You are a participant. Congratulations also mean that excuses lose their power. You may still feel fear, doubt, or resistance, but you can no longer hide behind them. Awareness removes hiding places. You see clearly when you are avoiding, when you are delaying, when you are betraying your own standards. This clarity can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Only what is seen can be corrected. Responsibility does not demand perfection. It demands sincerity. You will still make mistakes. You will still stumble. But now you will notice faster, correct sooner, and learn deeper. Each mistake becomes instruction instead of identity. This is growth. If you are seeing this today, understand that congratulations are not an ending. They are a beginning of a more conscious phase of life. A phase where you are invited to live deliberately, to speak with intention, to act with restraint, to move with awareness. This path is quieter, but it is stronger. Accept this responsibility without resentment. Do not wish for the comfort of unconscious living. That comfort always comes with hidden costs. You have been called forward because you are ready to carry yourself with integrity even when no one is watching. This is the true meaning of congratulations. When it is said that your inner discipline has been chosen, it does not mean you are already disciplined. It means you are capable of becoming disciplined in a way that transforms your life from the inside out. Discipline is not a trait you are born with, nor a personality type reserved for a few. It is a practice, a relationship with yourself that is built through repeated, conscious choices. God does not choose people because they are perfect. God chooses people because they are moldable, because they can be trained, because they are willing to submit their impulses to a higher order. The world tries to control people from the outside. It uses pressure, fear, reward, and distraction, but external control never lasts. The moment the pressure is removed, people collapse back into old habits. Inner discipline is different. It is self-governance. It is the ability to hold your own attention, regulate your emotions, and act according to principle rather than impulse. When your inner discipline is chosen, it means you are being called to develop this capacity deliberately. Many people misunderstand discipline as restriction, as denial, as punishment. This misunderstanding creates resistance. True discipline is not about suppression, it is about direction. It does not shrink your life, it gives it shape. Without discipline, energy leaks everywhere. With discipline, energy is gathered and focused. What you focus on grows. What you neglect withers. This is not philosophy, it is observable reality. Your life has already shown you moments of discipline, even if they were inconsistent. Times when you did the right thing without recognition. Times when you held back a reaction. Times when you continued despite fatigue. These moments are not random. They are evidence. Evidence that discipline already exists within you as a seed. Seeing this message means the time has come to cultivate that seed instead of ignoring it. Discipline begins with attention. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Most people lose their power because their attention is scattered. They are pulled by notifications, opinions, desires, and fears. Inner discipline starts when you decide to reclaim your attention. This does not mean isolating yourself from the world. It means choosing when and how you engage with it. Attention is your most valuable resource. When you waste it, you weaken yourself. The mind resists discipline because discipline removes excuses. When you are disciplined, you cannot say, "I didn't know," or "I couldn't help it," or "I'll start tomorrow." Discipline brings clarity, and clarity demands action. This is why the ego avoids it. But once discipline is established, the mind becomes quieter. Chaos decreases. Regret lessens. Confidence grows, not from affirmation, but from self-trust. Self-trust is built when your actions align with your intentions. Each time you say you will do something and follow through, even in a small way, self-trust strengthens. Each time you break a promise to yourself, self-trust weakens. Discipline is the practice of keeping promises to yourself. Not dramatic promises, but simple ones. Wake when you say you will wake. Stop when you say you will stop. Begin when you say you will begin. These small acts train the nervous system to respect your word. Inner discipline also involves emotional regulation. This does not mean suppressing emotion. It means not allowing emotion to dictate behavior. Emotions are signals, not commands. Anger, fear, sadness, excitement all arise naturally. Discipline is the pause between emotion and action. In that pause, you regain choice. Without that pause, life becomes reaction after reaction, and reactions create consequences you did not consciously choose. When God chooses your inner discipline, it means you are now capable of holding that pause. You may not always succeed, but you are capable. You can feel anger without becoming violent. You can feel desire without becoming impulsive. You can feel fear without becoming paralyzed. This capacity is what separates those who are ruled by life from those who shape it. Discipline is closely connected to simplicity. The more unnecessary complexity you allow into your life, the harder discipline becomes. Too many commitments, too much stimulation, too many voices. Inner discipline often requires subtraction before addition, removing habits that drain you, reducing noise, creating space. Space is where discipline grows. In constant chaos, discipline cannot breathe. Your body is also part of inner discipline. How you sleep, how you eat, how you move. These are not separate from spirituality, they are expressions of it. A neglected body weakens the mind. A restless body disturbs focus. When you care for the body with consistency, you create stability. Stability supports discipline. Discipline supports clarity. There will be resistance. Some days discipline will feel effortless. Other days it will feel heavy. This does not mean you are failing. It means you are training. A muscle does not grow without resistance. Inner discipline is no different. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your capacity to choose again. Over time, what was once difficult becomes natural. Do not compare your discipline to others. Comparison weakens focus. Some people are disciplined in one area and chaotic in another. Your path is yours. The only comparison that matters is between who you were and who you are becoming. Discipline reveals progress quietly. You will notice it in how you speak, how you respond, how you recover from setbacks. When your inner discipline is chosen, your life begins to organize itself. Not because circumstances magically improve, but because you respond differently. You waste less energy on regret. You spend less time explaining yourself. You move with fewer internal conflicts. This creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates calm. God does not choose inner discipline lightly. It is a powerful force. A disciplined person cannot be easily manipulated, easily distracted, or easily broken. This is why discipline is rare. It requires patience, honesty, and humility. It requires you to face your own inconsistencies without excuses. But it also gives you something priceless: self-respect. Self-respect does not come from achievement alone. It comes from integrity. From knowing that when things are difficult, you do not abandon yourself. This knowledge becomes a quiet strength. You do not need to prove it to others. You feel it in how you stand, how you breathe, how you decide. If you are seeing this message, take it as a sign that the work is shifting inward. Less chasing, more cultivating. Less reacting, more choosing. Inner discipline is not about becoming rigid. It is about becoming reliable. Reliable to your values. Reliable in your effort. Reliable in your presence. This is not a short-term task. Discipline is a lifelong practice. But once it becomes part of you, life feels less chaotic. You are no longer at war with yourself. You move forward with steadiness. This is what it means for your inner discipline to be chosen.